Susie Homesteader of the Rockies, and welcome to the Susie Homesteader channel, and happy Easter. And it's Easter craft time, and I'm going to go through a couple of fun little crafts that I did, and some with the kids that are really easy and a great way to just kind of spruce up your house for Easter. So let's start over on this side real quick. This is just a three-tiered platter that you can use for all kinds of stuff. Very versatile. It's good for springtime. I'm going to use this for, I think, like a Mexican fiesta that I might have. But all it is just 3 terracotta trays and 3 terracotta pots glued together, and then a bunch of little individual pots on each section. So what I did for Easter was just, I had some wheatgrass that I was growing in these pots over the winter. And then I just transferred it to this little tier that I made. And then I think I have about 8 pots on the bottom of this one. And then the second tier, you're going to need a much smaller pot to fit in there. And then on the top, you'll want something even smaller. But you can use any kind of little planter or pot or whatever you want on each set of these. But I just thought that the terracotta was nice because it kind of kept it all in the same theme. And then on the top one that I just glued the opposite direction, instead of upside down like on the middle ones, just put a little bunny statue in there. But you could put another planter on top. You could put Easter decorations in these pots, or all kinds of fun ideas that you could think of. And again, I'm probably going to use this for like an appetizer tray at some point. So, and it is heavy, so make sure it's on something very sturdy when you set it out somewhere. But great piece to have, really fun for springtime too. So there's a little Easter plant display. And then I have this fun little thing, which is a bunch of actual real marshmallow peeps, which are now hard as rock, but that's what we want. So anyway, that is just a stick or a dowel that you could find that I covered in fabric, and then a couple of embroidery hoops that I also wrapped in just like a fabric scrap, and then glued those and tied those onto the stick, and then put on some marshmallow peeps onto both sets of those embroidery rings. And that's, you know, hot glue. And then some pom-poms are kind of a cute little addition to that. So that's kind of like a Peeps sunflower, which make sure you put some plastic on that when you're storing it, because for some reason I'm always missing a little bunny ear. And I don't know if that's a mouse or if that's a child. But make sure you have plastic on that when you're storing it, because it's not super sturdy. So there's another fun little craft, especially with the kids. They'll have fun with that one. And then, of course, a good old, just a blank frame with a ton of jelly beans glued on there, and a little peep in the middle with some fabric on the background. Real easy one for the kids to do. And here's some little paper mache eggs that I found at a craft store. Glued them onto some little wood bases and then spray painted some letters and hot glued those on there. So you could spell all kinds of stuff with that. You could use them just for names, maybe place card holders or name card holders on a table, or just any kind of thing you wanted to spell out. But that's what I did. So you have Happy Easter with some of these eggs. And here's an easy idea for putting a centerpiece together. This is just a dough bowl with a bunch of Spanish moss and some little wooden guys that of course I found at a thrift store, and some wooden eggs that I spray painted kind of like a camouflage, and some bronze colors. So more spray painting, which I also did on those letters. But there you go. There's another easy, super easy centerpiece, which you could change around a little bit if you had to. And this is, let's see, Pier 1 Imports I bought that at, but it's just a glass dome, and it's got a kind of a wooden plate to the bottom. And then I found a little wooden Easter bunny online and some wooden carrots. And again, a little bit more of that moss. And then just make sure that your Easter bunny fits under the glass, because that one just barely fits and it just barely closes. Or you could actually use a real chocolate Easter bunny if you wanted to do that too. So there's another little display for you. And you know, if you can sew, or you have somebody that can help you sew and you have a sewing machine, this is just my little Peeps pillow, which is kind of a nice soft, almost like a felt fabric. Oh, actually it's a flannel is what it is, like a yellow flannel. And get a template off the internet, or just a pattern for your Peeps shape, and then just maybe make that a little bigger on a say like a paper bag, or some kind of a tracing paper, transfer paper, and then trace that onto your fabric and use that as your shape to cut out, and then stuff it and put a couple, well, put your black eyes and your black nose on there before you stuff it, and then stuff it, and you have a really cute little Peeps pillow for Easter. And here's another easy centerpiece. I love my sugar mold that I found on eBay, I think it was, and just some little eggs. Pretty sure I got these at Walmart, just little mirror eggs, but you could put all kinds of stuff in these little holes that I think came with candles, little votive candles. But anyway, I use this for all kinds of holidays, and I change it around. But just some little glass eggs in a sugar mold, and a bunch of little grass placemats. So another easy centerpiece for you. And this one is just a candlestick base with a little metal container that, yes, I found at a thrift store. And, oh, lost another ear. Anyway, glued together, and then I put a bunch of Spanish moss inside of that, and cut out some carrots and some eggs and some Easter bunnies out of some soffit that I had, or maybe that's underlayment, but you could also use cardboard if you didn't want to do anything with the jigsaw, but I did use wood on this just so that it wouldn't bend. And then found a bunch of fabric swatches, again at a thrift store, and glued them onto the cutouts that I made. And then I also have some floral wire glued to the bottom so that I could actually poke these into some styrofoam, or planter foam. So, but you could really put these anywhere in your house. Lots of fun ideas, especially for planters. But you have carrots, you got some bunnies, and you have some eggs. And again, you can do quite a few things with those. So that's a little bit more of a time-consuming project, but they should last a while. And then, of course, you know, just remember to get some fun movies. Harvey's a great one. Easter Parade, just some other fun stuff for the kids for Easter. And, you know, if you don't find a little Easter game like this, like I did, which is nothing more than a bunch of wooden spoons and some wooden eggs, then get the plastic Easter eggs or whatever you want and try having a relay race with some spoons and keeping the eggs on the spoon and see how far they get. So always fun Easter games to think about. But don't forget to put a fun wreath on your front door, and I will show you the wreath that I made, and that is nothing more than a styrofoam circle with some burlap glued or wrapped and glued around that, and a little more Spanish moss again, some little Easter chicks I'm pretty sure I got at a craft store, birdhouse I got at a craft store, and some little chick baskets that I ordered online, and then glued all those together, put a little wire ribbon on there, and you have a fun little Easter wreath for the front door. And then don't forget, there's another fun project for you kids, which is just a giant pom-pom, which again you can get at the craft store, and some felt, and just cut it out and make it look like a little bunny butt, and stick another pom-pom on there and put them in some kind of a little planter, or let's see, what do I have in here? Yep, just a little planter pot, and you have another cute little bunny display. So lots of fun things to do for Easter. And if you have any questions, come to my website, Susie Homesteader of the Rockies, And make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I will see you there. Bye-bye. So, let's get started. Subscribe to the Susie Homesteader channel, and we'll see you there. Bye-bye.